In the beginning of the story, we are shown a morgue, where a boy named Min suddenly comes back to life. However, he doesn't remember anything, so he tries to leave the room. When the staff members see him, they get extremely frightened. Min is then laid on a hospital bed. His mother, Rudy, is also there. She is overjoyed to see her son alive. But soon, Min faints. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself in a hospital room. Confused, Min attempts to escape. During this, he encounters a doctor and a nurse who stare at him creepily and speak to him in a strange language, which terrifies him even more. Min runs toward the elevator, but it doesn't work. So he climbs out through a window. Due to the rain, he slips and starts falling down. But just then, an unknown power saves him and places him back on top of the building. To Min, this all feels like a dream, because instead of falling, he was walking on the building. At that moment, a window cleaner appears, also walking on the building like Min. Min asks him if this is all real. In response, the man slaps him to make him realize the truth. The man introduces himself as a guardian, telling Min that all his soul's memories have been erased, and his soul has been placed into the body of a boy named Min. Shocked, Min asks the guardian many questions, but he doesn't answer. Instead, he puts Min at the edge of a window to test him. Min realizes he can no longer walk on the building. If he lets go of the window, he'll fall. So, scared, he quietly climbs back inside and returns to his bed. Then, a nurse appears and injects him with a painful needle. In pain, Min accidentally knocks over a bottle, and the water inside starts floating in the air. Shocked, Min realizes that the nurse is actually the guardian, who can take any form at will. The guardian, now in the form of the nurse, tells Min that his current body is not permanent. She gives him a special overglass and says that if he doesn't discover the reason for Min's suicide within 100 days, his soul will be removed from the body and he will die permanently, never to reincarnate again. Before leaving, the guardian warns Min not to reveal to anyone that he's not actually Min. The next morning, a doctor checks on Min. Seeing a sticker on a medicine bottle, Min reads his full name aloud, which convinces the doctor that he has regained his memory. So they discharge him from the hospital. Min returns home with his mother, where he learns he has an older brother named Ma. Strangely, Ma doesn't seem happy about Min's return. Rudy tells Min that for now he has to sleep in Ma's room so they can keep an eye on him. She gives him Ma's clothes to wear and goes to buy new clothes for Min. Hearing this, Min tells his mother he'll stay at a friend's house for the night and leaves. Later, Min asks Rudy what happened on the day of his suicide, but she refuses to talk about it. Min sees his father on the phone, too busy to talk to him, and tells him to wait. This makes Min feel awkward that his father didn't welcome him properly. That night, after everyone falls asleep, Min explores the house and finds a family album. But he's not in any of the pictures, which he finds strange. He tries to check his old room, but the door is locked. He peeks through the bottom of the door, but is caught by Ma, who tells him to go back to sleep. The next morning, Min sees Ma leaving with a laptop. Once Ma is gone, Min steals a bunch of keys from the living room and tries to open his old room. None of the keys work, so he goes back to Ma's room, climbs out the window, and reaches his own room through the exterior. Inside, the room is mostly empty, with only some broken furniture and a photo from Min's funeral. Seeing the date of death on the photo shocks him, and he drops the frame. The sound alerts Rudy, who comes running. Min asks what happened to all his belongings. Rudy tells him that he ruined everything before dying. Then she asks emotionally why he committed suicide. While looking around, Min sees the spot where his blood had fallen. He hugs Rudy, who is crying, and promises never to take his life again. The next day, Min gets ready to go to school. Rudy gives him his purse, in which he finds a brooch and her business card. He learns that Rudy is an engineer who often travels for work. On the way to school, Rudy tells Min to say he was sick if anyone asks why he was absent. She hadn't informed the school about what really happened. At school, Min finds out he didn't have many friends, except for one best friend named Lai, who had a crush on him. While they're talking, Lai remembers they have a stunt club meeting that Min had also joined, so they go together. At the meeting, the leader reminds Min that he needs to submit a drawing for an upcoming competition. While working on it, he sees some girls wearing the same brooch he found in his purse. Curious, he follows them to their class and learns they are from the Olympic class. Min believes he must belong to that class too and joins them after wearing the brooch. But the teacher recognizes he doesn't belong and kicks him out. Outside the class, Min finds a note from his tutoring partner, asking to meet in the library. There, he meets a beautiful girl named Pai, whom he instantly... At school, Min's father comes to remind him about his meeting with the school therapist. He also gives Min some of his new medicinal products to promote and then leaves. During the meeting, the school therapist starts asking Min very strange questions, making Min want to leave. But before he can, the weird therapist starts swallowing Min's father's medicinal products. Suddenly, all the medicines freeze in the air. Min realizes that this person is not a therapist, but the Guardian, in disguise. The Guardian has come to remind him that he must quickly find the reason for Min's suicide. He also warns that Min will only get one chance to give the correct answer. If the answer is right, the hourglass band will break. A few days later, there's a festival at school. Min finds Pai crying. Pai was upset because she couldn't complete her practice test and was afraid of failing. To cheer her up, Min tells her she's great and shouldn't be so stressed. Min then asks if they're a couple, to which Pai denies, saying he never even asked her out. So Min invites her to the festival. They enjoy it together and in the end, watch fireworks sitting side by side. Pai holds Min's hand and tells him that he has changed a lot and isn't as sad as before. The next day at home, Min overhears his mom talking on the phone and discovers that his father had sent her wedding ring for Group's new product promotion. This made Rudy, Min's mom, very upset and heartbroken. To cheer her up, Min helps her cook durian and even eats it, shocking her because Min had always hated durian. Seeing this change, Rudy becomes happy and shares some childhood memories, showing how she always cared for her kids even during tough times. Later, Pai passes her exam, fulfilling a promise she had made to Min. To celebrate, she washes his hair with shampoo and challenges him to run 10 laps on a bridge. After completing the laps, Time gives Min a gift. It's his birthday. He opens the gift and finds a scope made by Pioneer. Pai tells him she really likes him, and they share a kiss. The scene shifts as Min starts drawing Pai. During this, he finds some photos, one showing him sitting near a locker. Curious, he checks the locker but finds it empty. Then Live appears and reminds him that he had kept his laptop in the locker, with a note asking it to be given to his mom. However, when Live went to Min's home, Rudy wasn't there, so she kept the laptop. Min returns home and searches his mom's room for the laptop but doesn't find it. Instead, he finds a photo where his face is scratched out and documents showing that his mom once wanted to study in Germany. On checking her computer, Min finds a chat between his mom and her friend. From the chat, he learns that his mom couldn't go to Germany because she had to care for her family. Because of this, she blamed Min and even hated him. The chat also reveals that Min had written a goodbye letter on his laptop that he hadn't shown his parents. Realizing the second laptop at home is his, Min heads to his mom's college and finds it. As he brings it home and starts checking it, May arrives and tries to snatch the laptop, saying that the family is happy without Min. May throws the laptop out of the window, but Min rushes down and finds the laptop floating in the air. The Guardian is there, using his power to suspend it. However, the Guardian lets it fall, laughing at Min. Min brings the laptop home and finds only one file remaining. his goodbye letter. In the letter, Min explains that he had mixed drugs into soda and drank it. Before doing so, he scratched out his face from all photos and burned his drawings. The letter reveals he hated his father for spending his mom's salary on group cults. He hated his mom because she made him feel small, and although he loved her, she was mostly absent. The only person he liked was Pi. One day, Min visits Pi and sees her being harassed by a teacher, but Pi doesn't resist. This shocks Min. The next day, he confronts Pi and yells at her for being with the teacher. Pi cries and says she doesn't like the teacher, but stays with him to join the Olympic team. Min realizes that Pi only cares about her future and doesn't really need him. Feeling worthless, he tells her he might as well end his life. Later, Min's father visits the school after the principal complains about him. The father asks why. Min can't be a normal boy. Min angrily responds, asking why he sold his mom's wedding ring for group and storms off. Later, Min finds his mom's business card with an address. He goes there and is shocked to see his mom with a new family. Rudy also sees her and tries to talk to her, but Min walks away crying. Finally, Min stands on a bridge in heavy rain, contemplating suicide. As he looks down, the raindrops freeze, and the guardian appears, asking the reason behind his suicide. Min says he hated life and it wasn't his fault. His family and Pi weren't trustworthy, but the hourglass band doesn't break, meaning his answer was wrong. So the guardian reminds him. Now only 3 days were left. After this, Min returns home and starts destroying everything in his room. Just then, Lee comes in and asks him why he hasn't drawn the final drawing yet. But Min tells Lee that she doesn't need to worry about him. He also begins to speak harshly in Brahmi and tells her that he never considered her his friend and never liked her. Hearing this, Lee is deeply hurt. Min then reveals that the day he didn't come to school was the day he was planning to end his life, and that he had even written a goodbye letter in which he didn't mention Lee at all. Hearing all this, Lee runs away in tears. Later that evening, Min and his father go to pick up Rudy, who was returning home from her trip. Rudy is very tired and wants to go straight home, but Min insists on having dinner together. So the three of them go to a restaurant. Min says he's going to the washroom, but instead hides and listens to their conversation. He sees his father returning the marriage ring to Rudy. Then Rudy confesses to her affair, but Min's father quietly leaves without saying anything. Now alone in the car with his mother, Rudy breaks down in tears and apologizes to Min. She tells him that she wants to be with her family and has ended her relationship with her other lover. But Min refuses to forgive her and tells her that he is no longer her son. Her real son has already died because she was a bad mother. They get into an argument and Rudy gets distracted while driving, leading to an accident. When Min regains consciousness, he finds himself in the hospital and immediately goes to check on his mother, who is still unconscious. May is also there and tells Min that his mother is in serious condition. May also says his father told him what happened at the restaurant and asks Min why he didn't tell him about his suicide attempt. He says he could have helped him if he had known and tells him to stop thinking that no one loves him. Since Min wasn't seriously hurt, he is discharged and sent home. At home, he finds a durian dessert made by his mother and the kaleidoscope that P had gifted him. Min starts to feel that he had been behaving selfishly. He completes his drawing. The next day, the Olympic team selection is announced. P gets selected and is asked to give a speech, but when she sees Min, she feels guilty and runs away. Min finds her in a classroom, about to harm herself with a shard of glass. Min apologizes and hugs her, explaining that he was very angry that day and said hurtful things without thinking. He tells her not to blame herself because it was the teacher's fault. After listening to Min, P feels better and goes to the principal to reveal the truth about her teacher. Meanwhile, Min, still struggling with anxiety, leaves a drawing for P with some supportive words. Min then attends the Card Stunt Club's rehearsal, where he meets Lee and apologizes to her. He tells her that she is the only one who always supported him selflessly. Hearing this, Lee forgives him and reveals that she had submitted one of his old drawings to the team. When Min sees it, he is shocked because it was the same drawing he had once torn. Suddenly, memories of his past flood his mind, and he recalls all the beautiful moments he had with his family and P. As he is lost in thought, he falls down the stairs and drops the hourglass, which shatters. Suddenly, he finds himself back in his room, where he sees the Guardian in the mirror, this time appearing in Min's form. This helps Min realize that the soul inside him was actually his own. He finally understands that the reason for his suicide was not other people. It was because he didn't know how to focus on the good things in life. In the end, he accepts that no one else was to blame for his decision. It was his own fault. The Guardian agrees with his realization and congratulates him for passing the test. He explains that the test was only meant to show him the truth, and now there will be no reincarnation or alternate lives. Min will continue living this very life, but better. The Guardian disappears. Min finds himself back at school, where Live sees him and hugs him. He then heads straight to the hospital, where he sees that Rudy has regained consciousness. She tells him that she and his father are getting a divorce and that Min must choose whom he wants to live with. She says she won't blame him if he chooses his father because she admits she wasn't a good mother. Min breaks down in tears and apologizes to his mother for everything, promising that he will never regret being her son again. From that day forward, Min returns to his normal life. One day, P messages him saying that she has won a medal. Min had promised that if she ever won a medal, he would run around a bridge in his underwear with soap on his head. So, the final scene shows him doing just that, running around a bridge, fulfilling his promise, and the movie ends.